I just uploaded a video today about going high raw. So I'm probably not going to upload this video until Friday. So let's just call this Funky Fresh Friday or whatever. Oh yeah, by the way, if you are curious about what I'm healing from and what my channel is about and all that stuff, and you are starting fresh and you've not been here before, please look in the description box and follow the links there, because that is where you will find all the information. Okay, here's what's been going on my week. Since I made that video about going raw about 5 days ago, every day I have eaten raw all day except last night when I did have a cooked dinner. And I feel fantastic. I am going to continue eating raw because I'm feeling so much better than I was. I have much more consistent energy. You may hear the space heater in my room kick on and off. You won't hear Muffin snoring today because she is in my husband's office with him because he's working from home today because it snowed again, big buckets of snow, and he likes to work from home when that happens. So here's what I've been doing for my raw, the way I've been doing it. I really loved when we did the 369, I really loved having a plan written out every day that says, this is what you're going to do today, this is what you're going to eat. And that worked so well for me because I didn't have to worry or spend extra energy thinking about it or possibly make the wrong choice because I didn't have a plan. However, the whole having a plan for the whole week thing for me, that can be difficult because it just, that's for me, that's a bit much, I guess. So I found something that works for me. And what works for me is sitting down at the beginning of the day. I talked about it in the raw video. So if you've watched that, you'll know I just sit down at the beginning of the day while I'm having my lemon water or celery juice or at some point in my morning during that sequence, and I write out my menu for the day. I just say, okay, this is what I'm gonna have. And usually every day I probably for lunch will have spinach soup. So every day, of course, in the morning I have first thing lemon water, then I have celery juice half hour later, then I have the heavy metal detox smoothie a half hour after that, and then it's like lunch and then snack and then maybe other snack and then dinner or some sequence like that. So lunch has usually been spinach soup or a salad or coleslaw that I make. Then snack is almost always Liver Rescue applesauce, and because we get a lot of oranges and citrus fruits right now, we have mandarins and oranges, and we had some Cara oranges, so I'll eat probably some citrus fruit. And then if I had spinach soup for lunch, then for dinner I'll have like the coleslaw or a salad, and then if I had the salad for lunch, for dinner I'll have the spinach soup. So it's some variation of that. Or I'll have my favorite adrenal snack, which is 2 frozen bananas, 2 giant handfuls of spinach, and a cup of coconut water. I'll blend it together in a smoothie. That's like my favorite adrenal snack, and I'll have that. I've been trying to get myself to have banana milk before bed because I always have the hibiscus lemon balm tea, and I've been trying to get myself to have banana milk before bed, but I think I succeeded like one time. And mostly that's because I keep going to bed early. I'm tired, it's the end of the day, and I'm like, I'm ready for bed. And I kind of like going to bed really early because then I wake up at 5, and I like waking up at 5 because it's before everybody else. Although it seems like when I wake up, it's like energetically the house wakes up, so people know and everybody starts getting up. And so I had one day where I had us all by myself and I got to wake up at 5, and then everybody else got up at like 6:30 or 7, and I was like, luxury, that's my time. I don't get very much time just by myself. We're just kind of all here together all the time. And at least I always have animals around me, and I love my animals, but every now and again a body just wants her own space and her own time without somebody needing or wanting something from her. So that's my time. 5 to that one day I got the 5 o'clock, but it was just enough because I just needed that one day to start, and then I was like, okay, I got this. Now I know what I do, and this is what I'm going to do. And oh, I also forgot, after my heavy metal detox smoothie, I have my cup of chaga. my cup of chaga tea. So yeah, that's how I've been doing my days, and I've been looking at more. I like a little bit of variety, or I like to find something I really like and just eat it every day until I get tired of it. Like spinach soup I really like, so I have spinach soup with cucumber noodles at some point in my day every single day, and it's not very filling. Some people like to add a mango to it to give it more glucose so that it will kind of fill you up a little more. But if you can't get mangoes in season, or if your mangoes are only frozen like ours are, I don't want to make it any colder. So I just have my Liver Rescue applesauce after I eat my spinach soup, and that fills me up a little bit more. But here's the thing, with raw fruits and vegetables, you just have to eat more of them to equal the density of whatever you were eating before. Because especially if you're eating high fat is calorically incredibly dense, and something that's this size full of fat that'll like usually make you feel satiated for like hours and hours, you have to eat this much fruits and vegetables or something like that. I don't know, but it's way more. You do way more fruits and vegetables to equal the caloric density of something that's high fat. And it's also true of, you have to eat more fruits and greens than you would maybe potatoes and squash, because potatoes and squash are a little bit more calorically dense than fruits and greens. So you have to eat more fruits and greens. But for our adrenals, we really should be grazing about every 1 to 2 hours anyway. So it's just a good kind of reminder from our bodies, like, you just need to eat more. So when I'm eating the spinach soup, so I do end up having more fruit snacks throughout the day to keep me going and to keep that energy up. But boy, oh boy, keeping out the fat and keeping out the salt and keeping out the fruit is just helping. And you can see it on my skin. Like, my skin is starting to clear up a little bit. What's going on in my skin right now is actually more like kind of dry skin from stuff that was there before, like kind of, it's not really scabs, but it's kind of like that. It's like, because I was it would itch and I was messing with it a lot. Because it was such a, and that before, a couple videos back, you can see like my skin is just like, is so bad. But you know what? It's because I had eaten fat. And it does not take much for my liver to just go, no, too much, and dump, because I just cannot do it. It's my body's like, no, you need to. And it's also to stabilize my blood sugar, because 2 videos back I posted a video about why I don't eat at restaurants. And I'll put the link to both of the previous videos below because this one references them. When I talked about why I don't eat in restaurants, and I said in the video, and I think in the video that was like the aftermath, the day after, where I kind of went back and found old footage. In both of those, I thought, well, I don't think it was food poisoning, but then there are some other things that have happened since then, and it turns out that I actually do think it was food poisoning. And I'm going to do a video about that, so I won't go too much into it here because I want to just only talk about that in another video. Anyway, it's very important for me to keep my blood sugar stable, because I've noticed if I don't, my energy gets lower. I need to have my blood sugar stable. So for me, keeping the fat to no overt fats and keeping out the salt and keeping things as raw as possible, as much as possible, has just, it's made all the difference. Even so far, even on it's only been 5 days and it's made all the difference. And the interesting thing is that meal I ate last night, it was probably like half raw, half cooked. So I had a wrap. The wraps I talk about that are made with garbanzo flour and onion and coriander and cilantro. And I just had that, and I had raw veggies wrapped in it and a raw sauce 2 raw sauces that I made, and it was really good. And I noticed this morning I felt more tired in the morning than I have been, and I don't know, I think that might have something to do with it. So I think my energy is just better and more consistent when I eat more raw foods throughout the day. And the reason I ate that cooked wrap last night, honestly, I'll just be real honest with you, what happened was I kind of had a long day and it was intense, and a little bit stressful in kind of a good way. Like, it was just a lot of focused, intense energy, and it was a lot for me. And at the end of the day, I had honestly had already made the wrap for my son. I had made some for my son. There was like an extra one, and I just was like, I don't care. And I just threw stuff into it. I was just like, I'm so hungry. And I threw stuff into it and ate it. And then I ended up going to bed pretty soon after that because I was just so wiped out and drained. That's not an excuse. That's not anything. That's just what happened. And I don't feel bad about it because I have been super high raw. I did 5 days straight of completely raw, and that is amazing, and I'm gonna keep going. It's not anything, so it's not like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I'm not mad or upset. It's just, I'm just noticing, okay, when I did that, this happened. And I'm telling you, for me, that's what happened. So today, sat down this morning again, made my menu plan, just like I'm gonna do every day, and I write. The other thing I like about that is it makes me sit down every single morning and write something in my journal, even if it's like 2 sentences and then a menu plan. Like today's menu. And I like that. It just kind of gets me focused and centered. And then I remember to say sort of my morning affirmations that I say, and I like that. I like how it focuses me for my day. And then knowing I have a menu for the day, it makes it so easy because I can just look at it. And another thing I did today that was a little bit different. It is so cold right now, and I've been very chilled. Like I feel really chilled, and I feel like I can't get warm a little bit. And that is partly because it is so cold outside. It keeps dumping snow. Like the snow will melt a bit and then it'll dump another 6 to 8 inches, and then a little bit of it'll melt and then it'll dump another 6 to 8 inches. And it's like we're just getting winter all at once this past month or so. It's just been wild. So, I mean, it's not that we weren't getting the cold before. I sort of just mean the snow. We're just getting all the snow. So it's just been feeling really chilly inside because when the snow is dumping, the wind is blowing really hard, and it just makes it cold. So I decided, a tip from Muniza Ahmed, I don't remember if it was in a live or on a Instagram post or something. I just remember somewhere she said one of the tips she had for going all raw was to actually have medical medium healing broth, any one of them. You can have the original one, the thyroid healing one, the liver rescue one, any of them. Just have one of those broths and sip that if you're feeling particularly cold and you want to eat warming food, but you want to stay raw. And yes, I know the broth isn't raw because it's a cooked broth, but it actually is just like drinking a tea. And I have teas while I'm raw. I'm not so completely raw that I refuse to have tea, because tea is such a medicinal beverage, and so is the healing broth. It's the same thing. It's just instead of herbs, you're using vegetables. And some herbs, actually. So you're using herbs and vegetables, and it's savory rather than sweet. Although I guess you could put honey in it. I don't know that. I don't know what that would taste like. It might be good. I don't know. Anyway, it's the same principle. So it's like you're not eating a cooked meal. You're just drinking basically the healing bits of that. So I decided to do that today because it's just so cold in here, and I just feel so chilled, and I don't want to resort to eating cooked food to keep me warm, which a little bit is what I did last night too. Because again, it becomes a slippery slope for me, and I don't want to do that. I just want to stay raw because I just feel so much better eating this way. So much better. And this is how good I feel so much better after 5 days that I want to keep it going. I don't want to stop. That's my warming tip for today. And of course also like take warm showers and then put body butter on afterwards to sort of keep the moisture sealed in your body and stuff like that. That's another thing. And I wear like in this room right now, it's kind of warm because I've got the space heater going, but in the other room it's colder. And so I'll wear fingerless gloves, and I'll wear my knitted hat and all that stuff. And I have layers to keep warm. And I have slippers on my feet, but just extra layers, extra things. So I'm really excited about that, and about feeling just so much better, and the pain in my body is lessening, and yes, the plantar fasciitis is still there, but I think it's gonna go down. I think it's going to go down. And the other great thing about eating more raw food is that I have more energy and I get more of the things done in a day that I want to do because I don't crash out quite so early. So I can rebound and I can make a video and I can do an emotional code session and, you know, all the things that I, in addition to, of course, all the foods that I make, but I can get these things in my day. And I don't mind getting up over and over to prepare food and being in the kitchen, and because I get more dishes done and I just have more energy to do like my normal daily tasks, you know, laundry and dishes and stuff like that. And I'm clearer headed and I just like it. So that it keeps me motivated to keep going and keeps me wanting to keep going. So now I'm kind of having like 3 warm things in my day because I have my chaga tea, and then before bed I always have my hibiscus lemon balm tea, and then at some point, and probably in the evening, I'll have the healing broth. It just feels better, and even though there definitely has still been stress because we have been packing to move, and I have a countdown going in my journal, and as of today, which is not the day this video will be posted, but as of today, it's 39 days, which is now means like, oh, the number starts with 3, that's like a month. Because, yeah, it almost is, and until we move in, that's a lot. And we are getting things ticked off our list, we're totally on track, it's not stressful, but it's just kind of in your head, you're like, oh, there's stuff I have to do, and just because it isn't all completely done right now, it feels like a little bit much, even though I know at the pace we're going, it's gonna be fine. And actually, when we move, it's like the most relaxed pace, really, because at least now it's at a pretty relaxed pace. And we do it that way because I'm still healing from chronic illness, so I still don't have like 100% human energy back, and I don't have endless stamina and stuff like that. So I do have to pace myself and make it so, because it's my top priority always is my healing. And yes, we are moving, but I have to do it in a way that's gonna put my healing first. And so that's why we started packing like a month ago, and we just do a few boxes every weekend, and we just do it a little bit at a time to keep it slow and steady. Like I do everything slow and steady, so that nothing is too much, nothing is too overwhelming. Should I make a, I'm not sure if I should do this. I just was thinking about it. I'm like, should I make a video about kind of how we gear up to move? Because we've actually moved several times, and we really do have a system down for it now. And I don't know if that would be useful to anyone, because presumably if you're watching this, you're healing from chronic illness. You're not really trying to move your whole house, but so I don't know if that's a topic anyone wants me to talk about, but I'd be happy to talk about it if you want me to. I'll try to, if you want me to talk about it, if you want me to make a video about moving, I'll make a video about moving. Even if you just want me to make it because you're curious, like, how do you do this in case I ever do it in the future? That's fine, I don't care. Because I for real do have some tips and tricks. I don't know, they might come in handy to somebody. I can show you my system and everything. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the focus of my week, has been getting stuff ready to move and looking at that and focusing on that, and then focusing on eating raw, and it's been pretty good. Mostly. I mean, it's been, because it's not that I haven't had ups and downs this week emotionally, but they don't have anything to do with like the food specifically, or, well, they do have to do with the move, some of them, but you know, stuff keeps happening. I feel like my recovery time is faster, you know, it's just, I've been sleeping a lot too. It turns out that one of my coping mechanisms for stress is to just go to sleep. It's like a reset button. You know how you go to sleep and then the next day you wake up with a new fresh perspective. And the other night I was looking at properties in Colorado, like places to rent, places to buy, stuff like that. And it just got me a little stressed out. The cost. It got me a little stressed out, and I just started to go to a really dark place. And my husband had sort of just come home from work, and it was not that late in the day, you know, he just taking the dog out, we're kind of like doing dinner stuff, but I was like like not in a good space. And I had been looking at that for a few hours, I guess, and it just put me in a bad headspace. And then I started sort of getting that sort of swirly, panicky feeling again. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to shut it down. Just shut it all down. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to whatever. It's getting late. I'm feeling tired. I don't even want to eat. I just want to go to sleep. And so I did. I just went to sleep. I think it was like 7 o'clock. That's the day I woke up at 5. I just wanted to, I'm just going to go to bed. And I did. And I just went to bed. And it was like a reset button, because the next day I was fine. I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay. A new perspective, you know. And I just like, okay, I can do this all over again, and then I'm raw and I'm feeling good. So I'm not saying it happens like that every time, but I have noticed more and more that I have used that as a coping mechanism. It's either like take a nap or just go to sleep and sleep all night and wait until the next day, even if it's 7 o'clock. Like, I don't care. That's not too early anymore. It used to be, but now I'm like, nope, I can. It's fine. I'll just sleep extra. And I do. So that's my new reset button. What's your reset button? I'd love to know. Tell me in the comments. What is your go-to when the stress gets to be a little bit too much? Like, what are your coping mechanisms? Or do you have a reset button? Or do you like to go to sleep like I do? It's fine if you have the same reset button. I still want to hear about it. Tell me in the comments. And that is my week. Thank you so much for watching. You know I love you. I appreciate you so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do it over there by hitting the subscribe button. You can ding the bell next to it if you want to be notified when I post a new video. Thank you again. From my heart to yours, my healers and health seekers. Blessings, so many blessings on your continued healing journey. Remember that you can heal, and I will see you next time. And I love you.